Good evening. Welcome to the River Falls Municipal Utility Advisory Board meeting for Monday, October 15th. Can we have a roll call, please? Here.
Odine?
Here.
Richter?
Here.
Swanson?
Here.
Toom?
Here.
Spafford?
Here.
Wells Mangold?
Here.
Thank you. Looking for approval of the minutes from the September 17th, 2018 meeting.
Move approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same. Minutes are approved. Now is the time in the meeting for public comments. If anybody has any, they can come up and sign in. There aren't any. We will move on to the consent agenda, which is the acknowledgement of the West Central Wisconsin's Biosolids Facility Commission meeting minutes and the Powerful Choices Committee meeting minutes. Looking for approval or motion and second on those.
I move approval of the consent agenda.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Moving on to new business, the election of chair and vice chair. I think Kevin will explain why.
Yeah, just
we're doing that again.
per some changes made in the municipal code to be consistent with other boards and commissions throughout the city that have a chair and vice chair. Our management analysts and Scott Simpson thought it was appropriate that we would change that to chair and vice chair away from president and vice president. President and vice president is a bit of a holdover from the utility commission that was ended about 6 years ago. So in spirit to be consistent, we will just move to do a chair and vice chair. So right now we have the president, Adam Mashevsky, and our secretary is Patrick Richter. I'm correct?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it too fast in case I was wrong, but I was 99.5% sure that was right. So, you may just choose to continue to roll those two over to chair and vice chair, but it's certainly the pleasure of the board. And Adam, it's your show now.
Okay. I'll open it up for nominations for the chair position.
I nominate Adam.
Second.
Anybody else? We'll vote.
Well, do we move to close nominations?
Oh.
I move to close nominations.
Second.
Nominations are closed. We can vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. Thank you. And moving on to vice chair, I'll open that up for nominations.
And nominate Patrick.
Second.
Any other nominations?
I move to close nominations.
Second.
Nominations are closed. All those in favor of Patrick as vice chair, aye.
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 All those opposed, same. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to reports, we have the Powerful Choices 10-year report.
So our energy efficiency coordinator, Mike Noreen, will be giving a 10-year report on Powerful Choices and what they've been up to. Some pretty significant accomplishments, and Mike is going to take a few minutes and go over those tonight with you. Thanks, Mike.
You bet.
And thus, I'd be remiss too if I didn't mention Jason Roloff, our management analyst fellow, who also helped with this report, who's here tonight. So, Jason, thank you for stepping up and helping Mike get this done.
That was my first line.
If I keep talking, you give me another couple minutes, I'll take your next paragraph.
And Stacy running our new energy services rep was a great help as well. So
I was going to introduce her at the end, but we're not that formal, so that's Stacy. So Stacy, stand up. You can say hello. Stacy's here. Stacy has taken the place of Weston Arndt. Some of you are familiar with Wes. He was here, our WPPI rep. She does a lot of key account, large customer communication, and she'll be here 2.5 days a week sharing time with New Richmond. So Stacy, welcome, and you'll probably see her around, and she'll even be giving some presentations every now and then. So
Great. Welcome.
Okay, I think everyone has had the report in your packet, so hopefully you take a good look at it. 10-year Powerful Choices report. Last year, or 5 years ago, we did the 5-year report, which was 109 pages, so consider yourself lucky. The mission is, is a community-wide effort to instill a conservation ethic using efficiency, conservation, and renewable energy. So instilling a conservation ethic takes a lot of different forms, and I'm going to kind of show you how we did it. Always trying to add value to the customer and the community. That's what Powerful Choices does, to try to bring value. Partnerships, huge part of what we do, whether it's with Minnesota Rubber or Interfacial Solutions, UW River Falls, or Resident. Partnerships is a very big part of it. Education, awareness, marketing, letting people know what programs are available to them, whether it's programs here or through Focus on Energy. Customer service, again, very important part of what we do. It's embedded in everything that we do. With Powerful Choices to instill a conservation ethic, we also help reduce risk for those customers. Risk in trying a Nest thermostat, risk in installing new HVAC systems in their business. And we do that sometimes by providing incentives to reduce that rate of return or return on investment. So, a number of different ways in which we do it. We stack success, and this kind of goes along with partnerships. We don't work with Rise Bakery one time. We work with them multiple times on multiple projects, building relationships. So when they do one lighting project in 2009 and it goes well and we built a relationship, they come back to us and we continue to work on energy efficient projects with them. And then innovation, the leadership that you provide and with city council and administration gives us the opportunities to try innovation and to go for new things. And when we fail, we try to fail forward. We move on. So it's worked out pretty good. The funding sources of how Powerful Choices works is locally, we collect $211,000. It's about a little over 1% of the electric revenue for River Falls Utilities. And we put that aside for conservation, efficiency, and renewable energy. There's a couple others that we are required to collect, and that is the $53,000. We take that money and we send it to Focus on Energy, which is a statewide program, and that gives us access to all of their programs, whether it's electrical or natural gas or water. And we've gotten a great return on that. Then the next one, also mandated, is low income, and that we collect and we administer that locally. We could choose to send that to the state, but I'll give you an example of why we don't. Is one of the programs that we offer through our low income program is bill pay assistance. And if that customer gets bill pay assistance, whether it's from River Falls Utilities or the state, same money. If they get $100 from the state, because we're doing it locally, we have less overhead, we have fewer people in need here, we're able to give them $200. So 2 times the amount of money we're able to give our people in need in River Falls because we administer it locally. I think, consider that a successful program. The other one at the end is the reimbursement through WPPI. There's $23,000 available for River Falls Utilities from WPPI at the end of the year. And that percentage is available to all member utilities. Not everybody collects, not everybody seeks reimbursement through WPPI. It's for us, they expect us to do it, but not not everybody does. And we certainly do, because we're not going to leave those programs or that money on the table. And things like the downtown holiday lighting is through that reimbursement, and our energy educator in the schools. So it's very worthwhile. And you can see our total budget of $340,000. To go back up to Powerful Choices at $211,000, that is one employee and benefits. That's not the whole $210,000, but some of that, my salary comes out of that. Let's get to the impacts of what this does. Economic and community development. That's what we do. We're trying to develop this community. And it's an important part. I want to look at that second bullet point. The rates have remained stable. The bills of our customers are lower through conservation and efficiency. And we've still maintained our rate of return as a utility. So those are 3 wins right there through Powerful Choices. And on the graph itself, the blue is the money that we're sending to Focus on Energy, which is right now currently at $52,000 a year. And the orange is the incentives that we're receiving back to River Falls from Focus on Energy. And last year was a great year, as evidenced by all the development that we've had. And this year has been pretty good too. And we're not even, we still have a few months left. So we're at 90,000 right now.
Can you read the numbers of a couple of the last few years, the differences? I can't see them from here.
So last year was 253,000 that we received back. This year's 90. Prior to that, 82, 74, 203, 183, 79.
And the money out was 53,000, you said?
Yeah, 52.
So I want to just emphasize that. That's a big deal. We send out 53,000 and you're getting over $200,000 back into the community. That's a good investment, and I know Mike and his staff are hustling for that, so that's pretty remarkable.
It is, and that's just the incentives that are getting back. There's also the energy savings that these customers are getting, so we're really happy with that. So moving forward, I just want to let you know that Powerful Choices is still in the growth phase. We're not leveling out. There is still tons of work to be done on this one. So, and some examples of such that, our world is changing quickly. The utility field, you guys know better than anybody, is a very much changing field. So Powerful Choices, how we can meet those needs through customer service, through advanced metering infrastructure, that's coming in 2019. Efficiency and renewable energy, there's no end in sight for the changes there. It's competition. We're a regulated monopoly, but there's still competition out there, and that is probably going to just get more fierce. There's environmental constraints and issues out there, and there's also a continued electrification of America. And what that means is we're talking transportation. We're talking every little device is electric, 2-stroke motors, engines. So there's a lot coming down the pike for electricity and changes, and Powerful Choices is kind of the vanguard.
Let me just chime in on the competition piece. We used to think of competition as competing with a neighboring utility. I think moving forward, a lot of the competition is really going to come from cogeneration of facilities, whether it be houses or commercial, and then battery storage. So we're going to be competing almost directly with the customer, who's going to find other ways to produce their own energy and then store their energy. So our company 20 years from now might look a lot different. We may be more of a wires and delivery service than bringing them an electron. So the competition it's not really going to be with our neighboring utilities per se, but I think the competition will be from their own generation and storage. I think that is the future from what I'm getting a flavor of.
Yep, I agree, and I think we're aware of it, and we'll see what happens. And that's it for my presentation. But I'm happy to answer questions, clarify anything.
I'm just curious, the income coming from the electrical, that makes sense. To what level is it state run and you're the River Falls part of it, or what's the big picture of Focus on Energy and Powerful Choices? Does that make sense? I've tried to wrap my head around exactly what is Powerful Choices, and I know who you are, but I don't know all the ins and outs of who's truly in charge, how much is state law, how much, so summarize what you can.
Okay. Let's go back here. Focus on Energy, I'll start with those guys. They are a state-run program. It's not necessarily run by the state of Wisconsin, but it's statewide. And if we don't absolutely have to be a part of it. There's some co-ops that get the option of not being in it. And we could just have our local dollars, but say the new Falcon Center came out and that received $90,000 in incentives by itself. So if we did not participate in Focus on Energy, we'd be losing out on that. And if we put all of our Powerful Choices dollars into that, our budget's gone in one project. So, so with Focus on Energy, they offer a whole slate of programs, residential, industrial, and they change all the time. And I don't expect anybody to keep track of that stuff. That's kind of a couple of ours jobs. With Powerful Choices, what we do here is we have these local funds. Some of our stuff is matching what Focus on Energy would provide for an incentive. And there's also the portion where we are doing the marketing, the education, the networking. So it's going out and meeting those customers, whether it's Culver's coming to town. I was meeting with Stacy earlier and I guess it would be of Culver's. It's not as easy of saying, Culver's, here's Focus on Energy. If you use this program, you'll get money back. There's multiple layers that you need to be able to talk to. So it's 5 different conversations I had just with Culver's and every time I have a conversation, they're like, it sounds great, we'll do it. And then it's like, well, then here's the sub or here's the next guy. So there's a lot of customer service interaction, and you can multiply that through the different types of customers and needs out there. So part of it is a great deal of customer service.
Let me just add, so Powerful Choices is a local brand. So how long ago did we come up with Powerful Choices?
I think it was 2007.
2007. So, and it sounds like it could be a national or state brand. Powerful Choices is just a local River Falls brand for what we do, and Mike carries that brand through River Falls Municipal Utilities. So it sounds like something bigger, but it's just a local brand in River Falls. And then we tap into Focus on Energy and some of these other statewide programs for more money. So Powerful Choices is just a River Falls thing.
It is. Patrick, did I answer that okay?
It does. So that answers the local part very well. Statewide, I guess the question that might nail it down for me is who's in charge on that piece of it?
The Public Service Commission is the regulator of Focus on Energy, but they have numerous implementers.
Sure.
There's Franklin Energy, there's CISA, there's Chicago Bridge, and I forget which, and Iron. I don't know how that works, but
Does
I mean,
does WPPI communicate with them as well?
They do.
They do. Okay.
They do, but usually in the form of through their utilities. There's not always the Powerful Choices type of program doesn't exist at a lot of other WPPI utilities. So that's why they have people like Stacy, the energy services rep, who deal with Focus on Energy.
I read through your report, the vast majority of it, and just the year-by-year history of it was really helpful in kind of understanding how you started and how you've gotten to where you are today. So thanks.
Good. You're welcome.
Another point, too, with getting the money from Focus on Energy. So we have a full-time employee in Mike that goes out and hustles for the money. There are many communities who send their $53,000 or whatever they send down to Focus on Energy, and they don't get a lot of that money back into their community. So they get it one direction. They might get some of it back, but not a lot of it, where we hustle pretty good to get a lot back. And now to the point where we don't like to shout about it too much, because someone pretty soon is going to say, hey, River Falls, shut them off.
Right. That's true. Anything else I can answer for you?
I was just curious. The report was also really helpful, just seeing the year by year. You've met a lot of really impressive benchmarks. What do you have sort of on the horizon, I guess? Like, this is a 10-year report, so what would be read in like another 5 years, like the 15-year report?
We're still going to go for the $2 back for every $1 back, or $2 back from Focus for everyone we send out. But I do see the AMI as a really big component, and with the advanced metering infrastructure, there's a lot of communication back and forth, and so it's not just the utility that benefits. I want to make sure the customers know that they get the benefit from it. So, and one of those things, parts, is for you to have real-time data of your energy usage. So when you call me or when you want to know how much this widget is using, you're able to look online and see exactly what it's using. And there can have real-time price points of that might be costing you more than what you might think it would be, or less. So you can adjust your schedule or your schedule to maybe benefit you more. So there's a lot to it with the communication of that information to the customer. So that's one. And then the electric vehicles. It's a big deal. It might be a while before it gets here, but as Kevin said, the world of utilities might be a changing thing. It could be that we have a fleet of cars here that are electric and autonomous, and you want a ride, you make your ride, that car picks you up and takes you and drops you off and so on, comes back here. It's kind of out there, but that's not out of the realm of possibility of what we need to look at for the future utilities.
I just watched a video of a Domino's pizza being delivered by a driverless car right before this meeting, actually.
Yeah.
Out in Arizona. So it's happening.
Yeah. So we deliver electrons, we might deliver people. Anything else I can answer for you? All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Number 4 in the packet is the utility dashboards.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add other than what's there, if there's any questions. It might be good context just to move right into the finance report, and that might spur some more. Sue is here. So before Sue Langer goes, I want to give the announcement. She has given her 2-week notice, which is down to about a week and a half. And so Friday, geez, a half a week. That time goes quick, too. So this will be Sue's last meeting, and she'll be taking a job in the cities. So thank you, Sue, for all you've done. You've been great.
Sorry to leave.
So this is her final finance report.
All right, so September 2018 financial statements. The electric fund utility revenues were 10.8 million. Year-to-date expenses were 10.6 million, leaving a net income of 171,000. The water fund year-to-date revenues were 1.5 million. The year-to-date expenses were 1.3 million, leaving a net income of 142,000. The sewer fund year-to-date revenues were 2.5 million, and the year-to-date expenses were 1.8 million, and that left a net income of 672,000. The year-to-date stormwater revenues were 441,000, and the expenses were 475,000, and that left a net loss of 33,000. This report, you have a hard copy. I don't think it was included in your agenda.
Yep.
Okay.
For Sue, I guess that's all pretty good news. We're on track. We're tracking well.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Sue? Okay. Moving on to the item number 5, which is the utility report.
Again, I was trying to think of some highlights. I know last time Ron Groth was here from our wastewater treatment plant, and I was talking about what a great job they did with their broken rotor and how good they are. Well, the very next morning, I got a call that one of their other rotor brushes snapped. So a 24-inch, 47-foot-long piece of steel snapped right in half the next morning after I was talking them up. So a different one, not the one they fixed, but a different one. And I guess they're going to, again, try to fix it themselves. They got a new piece of steel that came in this morning, and they're going to put the new fins on it and take the roof off of this little building by themselves and put it in there. So they're going to do this for probably all under $10,000 when it'd be about a $60,000 fix. So hats off to those guys down there again, fixing that stuff themselves. They just like to get after it, so. But yeah, I kind of jinxed him on that a bit. But other than that, things are going well. No surprises, drama's low. Any questions?
Have you told this board about our encounter with Excel and the cement?
Oh, I haven't talked about that, so that is some good news. So
That's drama.
yeah, I think I had mentioned to you that during the substation construction, we discovered last spring we were having some sinkholes just to the north of the power plant substation and couldn't figure it out. We figured out there was a clog in our sewer line, and we found a bunch of concrete in the sewer line right below one of the piers that Xcel Energy had put in there. And we wrangled with them for about 4 or 5 months, and to make a longer story real short, we got a check last week for about $52,000 that they paid for everything to deal with that. So hats off to Xcel for stepping up after a little bit of wrangling, and they paid for our reroute of our storm sewer system that they filled with concrete. So that was good news.
Yep. So the moral of the story is you should call before you dig.
Call before you dig. Call before you dig.
All right. Does anybody have anything else?
I don't have anything else. I know there's a couple sporting events on tonight that maybe folks are getting anxious to get home for. I don't know. Just maybe.
One thing though, this is fall cleanup week. So
Yes.
I'd like
Yes.
to remind everyone here and anyone who's watching that you can find more information on the city website.
Yeah, so we just did a live video out there at about 4:30, and there was about 30 cars in line already. So at fall cleanup, come on down 4 to 8, Monday through Friday, and then 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. on Saturday. Yep, so
Yep.
thanks, Diane. That was a good reminder.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything? Any announcements? All right, looking for a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.